Good afternoon, everyone. This is Woody Collins with Congo Helping Hands, and I wanted to give you my daily dose of talking about the Congo. Overnight, we had some news that the Congo will be reopening soon. Have not seen an official pronouncement of what it was. I'm sure it was probably over the radio, television, and the just haven't had time for the public newspapers and stuff to publish any uh, idea of what all that means. However, for the first thing, that schools will be opening up in about mid, right before about the 13th of August to return to let students return to school so that they can take their final exams to finish up the current year that they were had to leave school out of. So students will be returning to school to take their final exams, and then they can hopefully be in a position to start school in September when it starts. So it's going to be a short turnaround for a lot of kids, um, that they will be in school for possibly a week preparing and taking the exam, and then they will go home for maybe a couple more weeks, a month, and then they will have to return to school. Also, churches will be opening up later in the month, so churches will be able to have services again. That will occur later after the school period, after the school has been open. Uh, the Some of the dates I've seen was in the somewhere around the 20th or somewhere in those neighborhoods, the 20th of August and so forth. Also, they were supposed to start flying again on the 13th. That's internal flights. Currently, there's only cargo flights, and cargo is very important for the survival of people in the Congo because the roads are so bad. So you fly a lot of goods fly by are flown in, especially those fresh items that are needed to survive off of. Fresh fruits and vegetables that's supplement whatever is available on local. Those are flown in. So those commercial flights with passengers, somewhere between 100. Some planes will have 30 passengers on it. I've flown on some of them that had 20 passengers, and then had some of the larger jets that had over 100 people on it. They'll start flying again on the 13th of August. So that means that the country will be open. However, I've already noticed that people are getting a lot of anxious about what all that means. Number one is now with the country open back up and people coming out of Kinshasa at will, as long as they can pay for a ticket, that they expect that there to be a spike in the number of cases in the interior in these towns. So in a case like where we at in the Kananga, start having larger flights coming in, a lot more people, and that's when things should get very interesting because at those points in time, uh, a person could be asymptomatic, uh, and no one knows that they have the virus, and they get into Kananga. And usually, when people arrive at the airport, everybody wants to greet them and say hello and do all kinds of things. And even though they have water out at the Kananga airport to wash your hands, and they take your temperature, that will not register whether you are a asymptomatic carrier. And when those people go home to their families, that's when things are going to get really interesting. So, uh, so over the mid August, we'll have to see. have to get everything into place so that when these a large number of people start traveling back into the interior, that things can kind of stay in control. So one of the things that we're going to continue to do is to provide face masks to the first to the health officials, because they're going to need those to when someone comes into the health clinics to a facility, they're going to need to protect themselves so that they don't become a carrier to their people and also to the other people who may have common colds in the that's over at the health clinic. So that's our first priority, and then we're going to be getting it to the students as they prepare to go back to school, get face masks out to them. Also, we're going to be giving washing stations to both the schools and the health clinics so that people can wash their hands and start practicing uh, as much hand washing safety as possible. So face masks and hand washing things that we'll need to be getting on. So we're in the final 2 weeks we got 2 weeks to get more stuff out there to them and stuff. What we'll be doing is buying it in Kinshasa, buying it locally, and getting people to prepare for those uh, the coming wave of people. And I say hopefully nothing will happen. However, I'm guessing that there will be some people come into the area that has uh, COVID-19 virus because they don't currently have any in cases in the Kananga area, but there probably will be some coming in now. Uh, the, Finally, the testing is worse than in some of the places that we have here in the United States, where you only have uh, one or two testing places, and also there's a long period of time. I know that somebody is waiting on the results of a test in Kinshasa now, and they've been waiting for close to well over a week now, and they were hoping to be able to leave this week. However, they think they may be leaving next week, so they haven't got their results yet. So, in all that time between when it was tested, when someone is tested, and the time they actually leave, that's a time that uh, they can get infected by the virus because they could test that they didn't have it. However, in those 2 weeks time waiting on a test, they could have become infected. So, what the future look like for us here at Congo Helping Hands? We've already been doing these things in limited supplies, getting washing stations and also uh, face masks out to the people. We will turn that up and get as many as we can out to the people. We have some money available that we're going to do that. Primarily, like I said, we're not giving out a lot of stuff to the general public. The first priority is for those kids. I mean, the first priority would be the health officials because they need to be protected. And the second priority is for those kids who are just going to school because as I was just listening to here in Indiana, what our plan is, uh, whether the students, the people here are going to have to wear masks. They Here in Indiana, they said anybody at third grade or above have to have a mask on, so they won't uh, infect one another or take it back home to their family. So that's one of the things that we really have to get in place is face masks and hand washing stations to the students and the healthcare facilities so that we can control this. So today is kind of one of those days. It's like uh, D-Day is on the way, and that we hope that everything stays safe. But we're not sure, and if what we did here in the United States is any indication, it's bound to peak. So I think we can just look at it from that standpoint of is uh, if if Congo is like any place else, you will see a peak in the number of cases and deaths as they've had. Even though I'm not sure how many cases that they've had, somewhere around 8,000, uh, 8,400 to 9,000 cases, and only less than 200 deaths. Uh, you should see that start picking up as people come out of these lockdowns and the country starts opening back up. So for everybody, both here in the United States, wear your face mask, keep your hands washed, stay a safe distance. And for my brothers and sisters in the Congo, please, as much as possible, keep a safe distance away from people. Get your face covering of some type, whether it's a handkerchief or something. If you can afford to buy a face mask, get your face mask and stay safe. So with that, be safe, take care of yourself, and be blessed. We'll talk to you tomorrow. Goodbye.